Hello family, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming back. My name is Victoria, and on this channel we'll talk about health, lifestyle, challenges, school, and a little bit of everything. Feel free to join my family by clicking on the red subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to know whenever I post any new video. Thank you. On today's video we'll be talking about malaria. Yes, it's a household name in Nigeria. Yeah, let me put it that way. And today we're going to discuss about malaria. Now, what is malaria? Malaria is a disease caused by plasmodium parasite, which is transmitted by infected female mosquito called Anopheles mosquito. Now, there are three necessary life cycles of malaria that you need to know. Number one, the Anopheles mosquitoes carries the parasite and is where the parasite starts its life cycle. It is the Anopheles mosquito that carries the parasite, and the parasite starts its life cycle from the Anopheles mosquito. That's number one thing you need to know. Number two, the parasite, which is plasmodium, has multiple species, and those species, there are 5. Number one, Plasmodium falciparum. Number two, Plasmodium malaria. Number 3, Plasmodium vivax. Number 4, Plasmodium ovale. Number 5, Plasmodium knowlesi. That is the species of the Plasmodium or parasite. And each of these Plasmodium have their own different severity of symptoms and also respond to treatment differently. That's number 2 things you need to know. Number 3, life cycle of malaria that you need to know is this. The parasite will first travel to the liver where it will grow and multiply. That's when the Anopheles mosquito bites you. The parasite that they will inject will first of all travel to your liver where they will grow and multiply. From the liver, they will travel to the system, to the blood, and when they travel there, they will start to attack and destroy the red blood cells. That's the life cycle of malaria that you need to know. Mode of transmission of malaria. How does malaria transmit? Malaria is a mosquito-borne disease. It's being transmitted through mosquito. Anopheles mosquito, female mosquito, if you can call it like that. Anopheles, female mosquito. That's one aspect that malaria is being transmitted to the body. Then there is other way that malaria can be transmitted, which is during pregnancy. That's from mother to unborn child. And we'll call it congenital malaria. That's transferring malaria that you have to your unborn child if you're pregnant. It is called congenital malaria. Then another way it can be transferred is through blood transfusion. That's when blood is being transfused to the patient. That is why it is good for blood samples to go through screening before transfusion of blood to the system. So that's another way. Another way malaria can also be transmitted to the EU is when you share needles with someone that has malaria. That's intravenous drug users. When you take medication through intravenous sharing of needle, malaria can go because it's blood. Aside these ways, malaria is not contagious except through mosquito bites. That's the only way. Except it's not all mosquitoes. It must be Anopheles mosquito, female mosquito, and that mosquito must be infected with the plasmodium parasite before that mosquito can transmit malaria to you. So not all mosquito that bites you will give you malaria. And even if the female mosquito bites you, if the female mosquito doesn't have the parasite in parasite, it will not give you malaria. But the problem now is that we don't know the one that has it and the one that doesn't have it, because you will not catch the mosquito to check if this mosquito has malaria parasite in its system. So the only thing you owe yourself is to protect yourself. That is it. Incubation period. How long does it take before you can react to malaria if infected female mosquito bites you. Now, the incubation period differs depending on the plasmodium that bites you. Depending on the plasmodium parasite that bites you, the incubation period is different. But the most common one, or the one that has a lesser incubation period, is the Plasmodium falciparum. And this Plasmodium falciparum is the one we mostly see all the time. And the incubation period is from 10 to 15 days. That's the incubation period. Now, what are the symptoms of malaria? Fever, headache, nausea, vomiting, body weakness, cold, and shivering. So when you have all those symptoms, you need to go and run tests to know if you have malaria, not to rush to chemist or to pharmacy and buy malaria tablets and take. You need to go and do tests. And if you have malaria, then you can now go and treat yourself. Now, what are complications of severe malaria? When the malaria have really, gotten into your system, what are the severe symptoms of malaria? Number one, you have severe anemia. That's deficiency of red blood cells. Remember, it attacks the red blood cells. That's why you will have the deficiency of red blood cells. So you have severe anemia. Number two, you have cardiovascular collapse. That's circulatory failure. Number three, it can lead to kidney failure. Number four, it can enter the brain, which we call cerebral malaria. When it has entered the brain. And when you have cerebral malaria, it will lead you to start having seizure, unconsciousness, abnormal behavior, or confusion. I've witnessed this abnormal behavior before. You will even think that that person is mad. That person may just, after putting the drip, the person will just, when you turn, the person will just remove it, pull on the floor, scatter the bed. You'll be like, what is going on? That's when the malaria have entered the brain or the cerebral of the brain. And you may even think that that person is mad, or they're doing him or her from the village. Nobody is doing him or her. It's malaria. It's complication of malaria, severe malaria. It have entered the brain. Prevention of malaria. How can we prevent malaria? Number one, through vector control. And we have two major vector control, which are mosquito-treated nets and spraying of insecticide in the room or house or even in the compound, fumigation. Number two is through anti-malaria tablets or medication. But please don't abuse the anti-malaria so that the malaria will not form resistance against the anti-malaria, which will make, whenever you take that anti-malaria, it will not work, and you will not come back and say it's chalk they are producing. It's not chalk, or it's not chalk. It's just that you have overused and abused the anti-malaria, which is not good for our system. Too much of taking drugs is not good. So please, you can see that drugs comes last. You must first of all protect yourself through vector control. I know that a lot of us, we don't like sleeping under mosquito nets. I have them at home here. They prefer let mosquito bite them and they will get treated. It's not the best. Everything that bites you at night is not mosquito. It may be mosquito, but most of them are coming with different sickness, different diseases. So please, the best way to protect yourself from malaria is to make use of your treated mosquito nets. Cover yourself and sleep. That's the best way, or you flee to your environment. Because the same mosquito that transmitted Plasmodium parasite into your system will also transfer Lymphatic Filariasis to you, which we normally call elephantitis because of the way the swollen leg and all the rest. Yes, the same mosquito can also transfer Lymphatic Filariasis to your system. Every disease is not okwa baoshu from village. There is also things that may cause them. It's not just okwa baoshu. I'm not saying that there is no okwa baoshu. Don't quote me wrong. But Plasmodium parasite can at the same time give you Lymphatic Filariasis. We will talk about it next time. Thank you so much for being part of my channel today. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and at the same time subscribe to my channel and drop your comment on the comment section. Let's discuss. If you have anything to add, I know I have a lot of my colleagues here, my senior colleagues. I have a lot of my senior colleagues and the junior ones and the upcoming one and the pre ones. All of us were here. So if you have any comments, if you have any other thing to add, please drop it on the comment section. And if you're just passing by and you decided to check this channel, please don't leave without subscribing. In fact, I'm waiting for you to subscribe. I'm waiting. I believe you have done that. Thank you so much, and see you on my next video. Bye.